Hi everyone and welcome back to the Colour Cave where we like to play with art stuff. My name is Jem and I am very excited to be here with Johanna Basford's newest book, Small Victories, a colouring book of little wins and miniature masterpieces. I for one am very much looking forward to this, and this is very pertinent to me just now. I need some small victories. There are a bajillion flip throughs of this book already on the internet, so we are not going to do that today. We're going to jump straight in and we're going to start a page, and I am particularly excited about this. Johanna mentioned it when she gave us a sort of preview of the book, and it's something that she's had requested a lot and she's never drawn, which is why I want to use that for our little colouring project for the next couple of weeks. That page is this little galaxy page. Something that we've not seen from Johanna at all, so this is like all new material. I'm going to have to break this book in. It's something that I've learned about this paper already is it does not like water. It is hydrophobic. I did do a little bit of testing on some back pages here, and it really doesn't like water, and I was planning on using a little bit of watercolour. Obviously this book is designed for quick colouring, so it's really designed for pencils, but we like to break the rules here, so that's what we're going to do. So what I really wanted to do was use some of Julia Kay's shimmery paints on the background to create a sort of like galaxy feel. In order to do that, we're going to have to do a bit of prep first. So the first thing I'm going to do is I am going to black in the background. And I know this is becoming a bit of a one-trick pony thing because we did this in the last colouring page that we did, but it just so happens that we've got a night sky and stars, so why not? So we're going to keep this first stage nice and simple. I've got some water and a rag here, and this is really just in case my brushes get gummed up. I'm not actually diluting anything. So I've got a flat brush here, and this is for the sort of wider spaces, but I've also got a number 2 round, and I'm going to use that for round these stars. I'm not going to be too precious about them because I am going to be filling them in afterwards, but I'd like to keep the shape as much as possible. Okay, so nice and simple. I'm literally taking the acrylic paint straight out the tube. This is the Winsor & Newton Galleria acrylic. I use this all the time. It's a student grade acrylic paint. It's not expensive, but it gives really good coverage, and I find it comes off quite smooth, which is what I'm looking for. So literally take a blob out the tube like that and off we go. And I'm just going to spread this around. So I won't bore you to death with this part. I'll just get going with this and with the magic of editing. Alrighty, so we are nice and dry, and as I said earlier, I wasn't very precious over the stars. We're going to put them back in later. I've got the super duper spangly Julia paints out here, and I'm going to go for one of the holographic paints, which are these 3 up here. Depending on what light you tilt them in, they've got a slightly different colour to them. I kind of like the idea of the Polaris because it's got purple and like a darker blue. The Atria is like turquoisey, so I think I'm going to go for that. Got quite a big brush here. This is the Jackson's Raven brushes, and this is the size 0. And I'm just going to get this warmed up, get some water into it. Now it's really important that we make sure that our acrylic paint is really dry before we put this on, because we need the permanency of the acrylic. Now I'm just going to try and move quickly here, and I'm going to kind of let this paint do its own thing, avoiding my circles. Not completely, but as much as possible. Just make sure I'm spreading this all the way around and down. Again, I don't want too much water, that's why I'm taking from up here and spreading it around. I mean the paper is going to buckle, like that's going to be a thing obviously, but we want to keep that to a minimum as much as possible, and I think I think we'll leave that to do its own thing now. I just love this paint. These paints are like magical. So it looks kind of blue. Once it's dry and we start to tilt it, you can see a little bit of purple coming in there already. But that is just going to be the bestest background. We'll once again leave that to dry, and then we're going to get on with some colouring in coloured pencil. We are going to be using Prismacolor pencils in a Prismacolor kind of mood. So that gives you time to go and get your pencils ready, and I shall see you back here in just a little jiffy. Okay, so we are nice and dry now, and you can see that lovely blue shimmer that's picked up. And if I tilt this way, you can see the sort of darker purplier colour. It's quite difficult to pick up these flip paints on camera sometimes. I did a fair bit of wiggling about there. I'm trying to figure out the best way to show you. Anyway, we're glad we've sorted that out. Okay, so to give you an idea in your mind of what my plan is now. And I'm going to put a little outline of white round here just so it's still got that sort of circular feel. For the rest of it though, for our little UFOs and our planets and everything, I'm going to use some Prismacolor pencils as I mentioned. I'm actually going to start in the bottom right corner here. I'm quite taken by this little spaceship doing its thing. The reason I wanted to use Prismacolors is because the colour is pretty vibrant. This paper is quite smooth, so I think we're going to go, you know, like the smash in the one layer and squish everything together kind of route rather than lots of gentle layers. So there was reasons for that. Now the thing is, this little rocket here might just not be quite up into the atmosphere, you know, this could be like on its way up. So we don't necessarily have to have a black background here, which is nice. But I want to start with the obvious thing, so I'm just going to call out these colours as I go. I'll maybe pop them down here in this corner if I can, just so that you can keep up. And I'm starting with Canary Yellow, and this is a brand new pencil, which is nice. And I'm starting where I feel comfortable. Canary Yellow, and I'm also going to go Permanent Red in here as well. And blend that out a little bit. I don't know how I feel about the paper feels weird under my hand here, like I'm not really sure about this paper, but it's definitely akin to, like, let's just get a layer of colour down and like just really smash it in there. But look how bright and pretty that is, that's good. I know a lot of you will have this book and a lot of you will have coloured loads of stuff in it already by the time you see this video. I would like to hear your opinions on the paper and what have you found works for you, what pencils do you find work best for you. We'd love to hear all about that stuff. Obviously this book is new to all of us. Some people have had it longer than others though. I'm always kind of last on the list, see, because I live in a rural area as well. I'm always like a couple of days behind everyone else, which is fine. I'm at peace with it. You know, I've made my peace with it. I think I want to grab some cool greys. So I'm gonna grab the 10% grey, but I'm also gonna grab slate grey. It just gets looking a little bit sad, honestly. This is the thing with Prismacolor pencils, and this is why I perhaps don't use them as often as I might do, because I as an actual coloured pencil, you know, to put colour to paper, I really like them, but they are so soft. They crumble a lot, you have to spend a lot of time sharpening them, and you have a lot of very small pencils very quickly. Most of you know I use my Polychromos all the time, and I've replaced a few pencils over the years. I've replaced 3 times as many Prismacolors as I have Polychromos, and I hardly use these. There comes a point as well, and I will say this is one of the downsides of these Tagal sharpeners, because of the design of this sharpener. When your pencils get to a certain size, you can't use this sharpener anymore, and you need to go for a more traditional style of sharpener. So I've got my Derwent bucket sharpener here. I'm trying to do this really gently. Oh, this is just breaking and breaking and breaking and breaking, clogging up all my good sharpeners. This is right, okay, this is always like my last resort sharpener. This is my graphite pencil sharpener, and it's an M&R bullet sharpener. That sometimes you just got to do what you got to do. I'm not even that bothered about getting that much of a point on this. I just want it to be... There we go. I think I'm going to stop there. I think that's probably about as good as I'm going to get right now. I'm also going to have to find a pencil extender. Didn't plan this out, clearly. Again, these pencil extenders, I find these are the ones that work best with me. These are the Derwent ones. This one's so old the writing's rubbed off on them. But these come in a pack of 2. I'll try and maybe link to them on Amazon or something. There's the other one that comes in the pack. So the silver one's a wider diameter, so that's better for the Derwent pencils that tend to have a chunkier barrel. And the black one's slightly narrower as well. That's one of these situations where I've tried lots of different brands of pencil extenders, and I've always ended up going back to the Derwent ones because they're the most reliable, and they're pretty sturdy as well. So can recommend. 10% cool grey. Off we go. Just get a base of that down on each side here. I don't know if you can hear the weather behind me. It is particularly windy and wet today. It is not a nice day at all. I've also just realised as well that my washing machine's on a full spin. It's just not a day for filming today. Like I've not picked a very good day for this. Let me shut the door. I've shut the window. I've always got the window cracked in here. There's vents at the top of all the windows, but I always have a window cracked just because quite often smells quite doggy in the cave because of Jock. So I find if we just leave the window open a wee bit, it kind of, you know, you don't walk into the room and go, oh god, it stinks of dog in here. But on days like this where it's horrendous outside, you know, shut off. Okay, and I'm taking my slate grey and it's pencil extender. And I'm going to accentuate some of the curves of these clouds. I'm having a bit of a flashback here to our unicorns page. Yeah, that was actually something I wanted to talk about. I will be finishing that page on a live stream at some point. I'll probably do it on a Whip Wednesday, so I haven't abandoned it. But also when it is finished, I will add those videos in sequence to the previous videos in the playlist. So I'll make sure that number one, that they're all together, but also at the end card, that they follow on sequentially, so when you reach the end of the video you can just go on and watch the next section, because I know quite a lot of you like to wait until something's finished and then you've got the full, you know, the full set kind of thing. Like, I get that. So I haven't abandoned that completely. Things are just starting to get a little bit busier with Cavemas and stuff now, so I have to kind of plan very carefully, but I will go back to that. I will finish it off. That will happen hopefully before Christmas. If not, we will finish after Christmas. So with this slate grey, I'm just picking sections where these clouds kind of curl a little bit, and I'm just putting a light kind of like swirly layer down here, and then going back over it with the 10% cool grey. Like, this is so much fun, and I love that Johanna's listened to everyone. She did say, when she did her flip through, I watched the version on Instagram, I think she did it on Facebook maybe as well. She did say that people have been asking her for ages to do like outer space type scenes, and she's kind of reluctant because obviously it's not something naturally that's in her wheelhouse, but I'm really glad that she's done it, and I'm sure you'll all agree that these are super adorable. Like, they're so cute. Like, look at their little chubby spaceship. Like, that's like me, like, I like to draw chubby birds, chubby spaceship. Right, let's maybe take the warm greys then, but we'll take some of the darker ones. Okay, I've got 50 and 90% warm grey. Again, I'll sort of put these up in this corner for you. I think that's probably the best place in there. I don't really know how to make these look like what. I don't even know what this is. I'm making this up as I go along. We'll just assume that these are wee cloudy shapes. So with the darkest pencil, so that's the 90%, I'm going to go back and grab my 10% cool grey, and I'm going to go over the top of that just to sort of, oh yeah, look. I'm going to do that with all these, so I'm just going to alternate with these grey colours that I've just picked out, and then I will go over all of it with the 10% cool grey. I want to kind of make these look sort of wispy but not, which is, it's kind of difficult because they've got like a band round them. The other weird thing that popped into my head there as to what these semicircles are is that maybe this rocket's taken off from a different planet, and this is like some sort of growth or something, like spores maybe, I don't know. Just making stuff up. I like to have a wee story to go along with things, you guys know that. Love a good wee story. It's the same way as I love to give things names. Okay, so I'm just going to take my 10%. Trying not to go over the edge here, because this is obviously going to stand out on top of the black. When I'm doing the Prismacolors, I try and, like, I'm very hopeful. I try and aim for like a 2 or a 3. They do need a shorter, stubbier point because they are really soft pencils. Oh, look. Oh my god, can you hear that? It's horrendous outside. Yeah, look at that for a point. This point will not last long. This is going to crumble. Prismacolors aren't made to have points that pointy. Try and keep my pressure fairly light though. Do love a good pointy point here in the cave. Right, happy with that. Now, see, for this sky in the background, I think I'm gonna consult my swatch book here. Let me just zoom out a little bit so that you can see what's going on here. I definitely want this black grape colour. I think I'm going to take the dioxazine next door. Either that or we go with like a violet blue, but I think that's going to look a bit weird. Okay, so dioxazine purple hue PC132. Hey, that rhymes. And black grape PC996. I'll zoom in so that you can see them. So these two here, that's what we're going with. And I'm going to transition the black grape into actual black, which is PC935 as well. So that's what we're going to go for. So I'm going to start down here with my dioxazine, because that is my lightest colour. So a fairly even light layer. Bearing in mind this paper's really smooth, so it's good for blending. But I still want to do what I would usually do, which is try and map out my colours. I'm going to start down here and then grab the black grape. Oh, I've got half a lead. Can you see that? I don't know if you can see that or not. Oh. Oh, this is not going to go well. I'll try and keep this intact for as long as possible. Now I'll try and go around the stars in this one. Okay, and I think I'll just keep the black to this very upper edge so that we, you know, we can indicate that we're coming to the edge of the atmosphere. We're not dominating our little colouring page circle here with black, because we've got plenty of black around the outside. So then I've got this black pencil here. This is such a cute little image, like I am totally in love with this little spaceship. Okay, I am happy with that, so I'm now just going to go for it and start adding in a bit more colour here. While I'm going along here, I'm thinking to myself, what colour am I going to make this spaceship? I have a strong feeling for like bright blues, like cobalty type blues. Just tail that off there. So you can see there, I mean, I've still got a fairly dark colour. Look how that yellow's standing out next to that, like it's perfect. And if you consult your colour wheel or you know your colour theory, you know that purple and yellow are complementary colours. So that I did that completely by accident, by the by. That's just a happy coincidence, which I am happy to not take credit for. And maybe I did it subconsciously, who knows? I doubt it though, not really. Normally I just go with my gut and wait and see what it wants to do. Like that's kind of the way that I operate when it comes to stuff like this. I really like this dark purple colour. This is what I was hoping for. It's making the smoke and what might be clouds look smokier and cloudier as well, which I like. I'm going to add to that a little bit in a minute though, but I need to do this bit first. I think I would like to try polychromos on this paper. I'm not really sure. I'm just not really sure about the paper full stop, honestly. So now I'm going to my black grape. That's the really good thing about having paper that's smooth like this and using a pencil like a Prismacolor. It is so easy to blend these colours together. I mean, look, that's zero effort and that's more or less seamless. And I didn't actually do anything there apart from put the pencil on the paper. Can recommend. Again, I'll just lighten up my hand as I head up towards the top there because that's where it's going to join the black. And we can deal with that in just a moment. I had a cup of tea as well that I forgot about. It's going to be absolutely stone cold by now. So I'm deliberately this close up as well so that you can see the texture under a really bright studio light. People seem to think that experienced colourists have everything absolutely baby smooth and there's no texture on the paper. Like, it's pencil. This is what it looks like close up. When you're zoomed out a little bit though, it looks significantly different. And that's a thing for newbies that I like to kind of point out every now and then. Like, they do actually, the colouring pages do look like this, but it's because you're using pencil. If you don't like texture or scratchy lines or, you know, like unevenness, use markers. Like, that's what you need to do. You're not going to get what you're looking for with coloured pencil. Well, you can, that's not true. You can use burnishers and blenders and all that kind of stuff, but it's a lot of work. Adult colouring doesn't have to be about pencils. It's just an easy medium to work in, and it's a medium that we're familiar with because most of us had coloured pencils or had access to coloured pencils as kids, even at school. There's so much you can do with coloured pencils, but a lot of people want really smooth, almost like digital colouring type textures, and that's the thing. Like, I don't really like that. I see people, it's very obvious to me when somebody's coloured something digitally, and I don't know, it gives it a kind of like an unnatural, well, it's not unnatural, it's just like a digital feel to it. And again, that's not why I colour. I wouldn't want to colour like that because what's the point? Like, you might as well just do it digitally anyway. Like, this is a way for me to get away from screens and technology. One of the many reasons why I like to colour. I do, however, think I have to say, like, see working digitally, I find it very difficult. Like, it's not easy, and most of you know Photoshop is not my friend. So I have a lot of admiration for people who not only colour but also actually draw in digital formats too. But it's just not, I say it's not for me at all. Okay, I'm going to take this black grape all up in here just to sort of reiterate what I've just been saying. If I zoom out now and we look at the entire page, it looks pretty cute down in there. If you want, you can take a blending pencil to that. It's entirely up to you. I think for the purposes of demonstration, I'll do it with this one, just to show you. Now, the question is, see that I don't even know where a blending pencil is because I use them so rarely. Oh look, it's in a pencil extender. There's a surprise. Okay, that's what a normal Prismacolor blender looks like. Obviously that is a new, not unused one. PC 1077 is a colourless blender. I don't even have 1077, I just have 077. Oh, that's really funny. These are readily available. You can get these open stock in the UK. People ask me all the time where I get my Prismacolors from in the UK. There is a lovely lady called Emma, and she runs the coloured pencil shop. She also has an alcohol ink shop and other things. She sells most of the main brands of pencils open stock. So if you're looking for Prismacolors in particular, because they're very difficult to get in the UK, I will link to her website down in the description. Secure checkout, all the legit stuff. But she's like me, she's a one-woman show. So if you are looking for Prismacolor stuff, head over, give her some support. She's lovely, her customer service is great. I keep meaning to kind of mention that, but it's because I use Prismacolor so rarely, I don't often have an opportunity, to talk about it when it's relevant. But yeah, that's where I buy my Prismacolors from. It's also where I buy my Derwent Lightfasts from as well. Still haven't actually completed my Lightfast collection. I am hoping to complete it this Christmas. I am part of a Secret Santa with Mr. Jem's family this year because we are spending Christmas with them, and there's like a million of them. Like when Mr. Jem's family get together, it's like a tribe of people going out, and it can be quite overwhelming for people like me that are used to peace and quiet and having a dog to talk to. Anywho's, because it's such a big group and the stakes are high, the gift amount's quite high, we've decided to do like a wish list. We've to share a list of, say, maybe half a dozen things that we would really like that falls within this budget. And it's basically so that you kind of know what you're getting, but you don't know what you're getting. And number one, I'm finding it really difficult to come up with lots of things that I would want because I don't really want for anything. And if I do want something, I just tend to go and buy it for myself. And the stuff that I don't go and buy for myself that I want is because it's really expensive. So I'm finding it kind of difficult, honestly. But one of the things I've decided to do is put in a voucher for the colour pencil shop, because at least then I can go and buy some pencils. Like, I'm the worst person ever for stuff like that here. Have some gift vouchers and I'm like, yay! Everyone's like, yeah, it's not a good present. Makes me laugh though, so... Right, just before I tuck away these grey pencils, I'm going back to the slate grey, which is PC936, and I'm just going to put a little line across the glass there on my spaceship, and then take the 10% cool grey again and go over that, just to make it look a bit more like glass. I found out the other day that one of my blue pencils has been a bit weird. I can't remember whether it was True Blue or Electric Blue. It's as if like the binder's been messed up. Okay, it was neither of those two. It might have been non-photo blue then. Anyway, not that it matters. Right, okay, so I've got here Electric Blue and True Blue. So I'm going to start with the Electric Blue here. And I'm using these two colours for the main body of this spacecraft. Now, it's obviously round. We've talked about how it's a little bit... it's a little bit on the chubby side, so we'll have our darkest colours around this outside edge and we'll accentuate this convex shape here. And use those dotted lines as a guide, which is kind of cool. And then I've got my lighter blue here now, so I'm going to blend that in a little bit. Oh no, it is my Electric Blue that's been mirrored. Okay. Yeah, it's like, it seems to be all wax and no anything else. I keep meaning to replace this, but again, like, I don't use them that often, so. Okay, let's pick out a darker blue. I'm going to take the indigo. Most of you, indigo is a really good go-to colour for me. So I'm going to stick with the True Blue. I'm going to give it a wee sharpen. And I'm going to colour in this tail section. So I'm just going to put an even-ish layer of colour over here in this bottom section too. And then I'm going to grab my indigo and go over the top, and you will see what a nice colour this is going to create in just a moment. If I go back over this with the True Blue now, yeah, look at that. Beautiful. And then I can use the indigo on this bottom part, but I'm going to cover the whole area here. I'm going to make this a bit darker. Never underestimate an indigo or a Payne's Grey pencil. They may not look all that pretty on their own, but they're great companions for all your other pencils. Lovely jubbly. I think I just want to put like a little shadow line around here, because there's going to be light flaring up from the boosters or the exhausts here. I don't know terminology for aircraft, okay, leave me alone. Rocket launcher. And then I can just soften that up if I want with my next pencil, which is the True Blue. You know, if you feel like you've got too harsh a line, I'm actually okay with this, but I'm just going to say it for demonstration purposes. Okay, and I'm going to do the same with the dome as I did for this bottom part. So let's have darker around the edges here. So I'll put that True Blue down. And I want to do around this little window as well. Again, that gives us some contrast. Maybe put a little bit of the indigo in somewhere just to make it look a bit more exciting. Okay, and for the little fins and the band across the middle, I'm going to use orange. So again, this is the reasoning behind this is colour theory. Blue and orange, also complementary colours, but that ties in with our red and our yellow because we've kind of created orange down here as well by mixing red and yellow. So that's where we're going with that. And I suppose at this stage any kind of orange would do. What's this one? This is orange. Okay, so we've got orange, which is PC918. And I'm going to do these little fins down here. I kind of feel as if this looks like a little bit like a fish now with one eye. But what I'm also going to do is I'm going to go back to that permanent red, which we used way back at the start. And in where these lines are with the fins, I am going to add those in. Just tidy up those edges with my orange. And then we've got this little orange band across here. See, looking quite cute now. Now, just to finish us off for today and for this little circle, I am going to grab I have got a white Posca pen here. I do sell the smaller nibbed Poscas, white Poscas anyway, in the stash shop if you're looking for one of these. This is the weeny one, which is the PC1MR. I've also got the 1M, which is more like the marker format, like it's a wider barrel. In fact, I'll just go and get one. Yeah, so there's a normal one, you know, it's more like the marker format where I feel as if the MR looks more like a pen or a pencil. Anyway, the nibs are slightly different, but they produce a very similar line thickness, so I suppose it's just down to preference. This is my own one though, I can't use this one, I'll steal that out of the shop, need to put that back. What I'm going to do now is, I want to add a sort of, maybe just like a broken line round the outside here. Now the thing about this is, and I've mentioned this before with Poscas, Poscas will pick up the pigment underneath. It is paint and obviously it's water based, so therefore it's quite willing to sort of squish into things and suck things up. So you probably have to go over this maybe twice. I tend to find it's worse with the Prismacolor pencils. It's up to you, you don't have to do this, I just kind of thought it would be a nice idea. Gives a little bit of texture there as well. And then I can just go over, we've got these tiny little stars in here. There was these wee dinky circles. Again, with the black background here, that, you know, the colour will pick up unfortunately. But if you leave your Posca to dry, make sure it's dry properly. You can go back over it and it's not a problem. So I'll just do these stars while I'm here as well. Again, the smaller nibs are better for this. Sometimes I like to do this with a paintbrush and some white gouache as well. I find that I can get a lot lines that are a lot finer because I favour a weeny paintbrush. But there we go. So I think you'll agree that looks quite cute. It does look quite cute. I'm really happy with it. I'm going to zoom out now so that you can see the entirety. How nice is that? And obviously we've got this lovely holographic background. Guys, I hope you have enjoyed this today. I have had an absolute ball with this. When we come back next time, I would like to tackle 2 circles, just for the simple fact that obviously we had to go through the background rigmarole with this one as well. And next time I'll also pre-select pencils and I will give you the colours all right at the start of the video so you can look them out and then we can just head off into outer space once again. So thank you so much for coming and hanging out today, guys. As I said, please come down into the comments, let me know what you think of the paper in this book, what you think of the book as a whole, and tell me how much you're enjoying it. And I will see you back in the cave on Sunday for quite an exciting video actually, so hope to see some of you then. Have a great day everyone. Bye bye for now.